Welcome back.
Today we list which celebrities we would fistfight in a T.G.I Fridays.
Talk about our romantic types.
And what we would do as President/Supreme Overlord of the U.S. This is the Boredroom. I'm Sara.
And I'm Rachel.
You ever notice how whenever you walk into a room, people stop having fun? Think about it. Our first section is a topic that I think we discuss too often on this podcast, which is just random people we would fight. But this time it's different because they're celebrities, so they're not really people.
Yeah.
You know.
Of course.
They exist in a world that is so genuinely detached from any semblance of reality. And I say this because I'll admit it. You know, whenever Vogue makes a video that's like, look at this hot person who's like 19 and already a millionaire and is so famous, and the designers just look at them and they bust a nut. Do you want to see a day in their life? You sloven, disgusting gremlin. And I'm like, yeah.
Give it to me.
I want to see. I want to feel like absolute sludge next to this goddess.
I feel like that voice was like almost like a Harvey Fierstein-esque.
I wish I could. Okay, could I do hard? Okay. Honestly, no.
Harvey Fierstein.
I can't do a...
No, I think that wasn't it either.
Harvey. I don't think we can go deep enough.
Yeah. Heyo.
Anywho, we're going off tangent. This first section, very, very near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
Celebs we would fist fight in a T.G.I Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
You might be asking, why T.G.I Fridays? Because it's a chain restaurant. And any chain restaurant in the United States, it is truly like another realm. It's like suburban purgatory. And I love it. There's this like eternal sadness that just lingers over the entire place. It's just wage slaves drinking excessively to mask their pain, and then like sad divorced fathers with their kids because it's the weekend.
Yeah.
And that's the custody that he agreed to.
Yeah.
The state was like, we know the mom does everything. You can get him on the weekends.
Yeah, you can have some fun with them.
Yeah, you can pretend to play catch. But in reality, it's just your son on his Xbox.
Yeah.
Completely ignoring you.
Killing a prostitute in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, a prostitute who he's imagining is you.
Oh.
Isn't that so sad? Oh, a little too far. And it's just like every single time you see those divorced fathers with their kids, like no one's talking. The kids are on their phones. The dad looks completely dead inside. And I feel like I should be like the anti-Norman Rockwell, right? Because he had these like very idealized, images of American life that were beautiful. But I think he didn't tap into the sad reality.
True.
Of what it's like being in a T.G.I Fridays and seeing a divorced father with his children. I used to be one of those kids. That's why I know. That's why I can relate.
You were getting those loaded potato skins every Friday night.
I would never in a million years eat a loaded potato skin. I don't like them because the ratio of potato to toppings is completely off. I don't want to eat a potato. Who do I look like? A peasant?
Yeah, you're not Irish.
No offense to the peasants out there. Actually, full offense. What are they going to do about it?
True.
They're not listening to this.
That's why I always attack the Amish.
Yeah. I want to introduce an Amish girl on like, what is that thing when they go out? Roomkipsa? Rumpelstiltskin? Roombadoom? That thing where they like leave for a year when they're 16 and they're like, do you want to stay in the outside world? And it's like with their second grade education and messed up genetics, don't let them out.
Yeah.
That's a public safety hazard. You gotta keep them in.
That's like, I remember my friend did like this project in like high school or something about like how Amish people have like a 60% chance of having like 12 fingers or something, just because like there's so much like inbreeding that like all these mutations are like super common among Amish people.
Listen, we can judge them. We have the right to.
Yeah.
It's their fault for living unique lives that are... I actually don't know. Are the Amish... No. Here's the thing. I know that there's a lot of people who've been in Amish communities and they've been like, no, actually, there's a dark underbelly. I don't know why that's what an Amish person who's like left sounds like. But I feel like it's weirdly abusive. You know, they're probably marrying those girls off at like 50. Yeah, so we can make... Yeah, okay, it's a fine. We can make fun of them. That's how we gauge it. We only make fun of problematic religious minority groups.
Yeah.
And also the dominant ones.
Yeah.
You ever see that SNL sketch that's like Pictionary and then they had the Prophet Muhammad?
Yeah.
That's such a good joke.
That is.
Okay, it would have gotten protests. Remember those like the Charlie Hebdo? Remember Charlie Hebdo? And everyone was like, R.I.P. Charlie Hebdo, and it's like that's the name of the magazine, not a person.
Wait, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't remember when those French cartoonists got shot?
No.
You don't remember this? And everyone was like, Je suis Charlie. How did you not? What?
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't remember when that like French satirical newspaper like got attacked and the editors actually got killed by like an ISIS sympathizer or something like that?
No. I live in a bubble.
I can't believe it. This is like you not knowing about Sandy Hook.
What's that? No, I'm kidding.
Stop. It was that squirrel in SpongeBob.
Wait. No, my friends and I last night we had to Google it because we were like, wait, how many planes were there in 9/11? Like, we could not remember what exactly happened in 9/11 because one person was like, no, one plane hit both the towers. And we were like, no, each tower had a plane. Like, we were like arguing. We couldn't remember 9/11. I mean, in our defense, we were like, one, but still, like, we should
When
know.
you say not, do you mean just the New York attacks or like, oh, okay, what?
No,
how
like
many
all
planes
of
did each
them.
one of y'all think?
I thought it was 3, I'll be honest, but because I forgot about the 4th one because they like steered it off or whatever. Yeah. So I was like, that's right. Because I was like, okay, there was something about Pennsylvania, and then I was like, the 2 Twin Towers, done. And then people were like, what about the Pentagon? And I was like, they hit the Pentagon? And then it was a lot.
It's the one no one cares about.
I know.
No one cares about the Pentagon getting hit because they're like, it's still there.
Yeah.
At least 3 of the podcast episodes right now are like not even eligible for monetization on my channel because I guess what we talk about gets picked up.
Dang. The fact that their first episode was sponsored by like Osama bin Laden's body or whatever.
And I don't even know if that was. I think technically that one is still monetized.
Oh, really? That's
oddly
funny.
enough, yeah. Okay, we have not even gotten to the list.
Oh, yeah.
All right, number 1. Tucker Carlson. And it's not just because I'm an insufferable left-winger. It's because I've seen this trend of people who are like journalists, even if I agree with them. It's like the most theatrical performative form of journalism I've ever seen, and it's so gross. Yeah. And I don't care if I'm getting I don't mind getting political, as I stated opinion that's not controversial. Yeah. Tucker Carlson has this, let's just say, very distinct style where he's like Bill O'Reilly, and that he was like, oh, I have the highest rated show on cable television. Yeah. I have a significant amount of political influence. I'm a multi-millionaire that literally has my own like prime time show, but I'm also part of the disenfranchised working class of America. It's the stupid everyday man shtick that Bill O'Reilly started. Well, whatever. He was the one that like honed it while Rush Limbaugh was in his basement. The freaking a thick mic, feeding into the conspiracy theories of the world. Yeah. And then Tucker Carlson basically took over that spot. So he was younger. He didn't have a history of like calling up assistants and being like, I'm touching myself right now, like Bill O'Reilly used to do. Yeah. But all he does now is essentially worse than Bill O'Reilly, because Tucker Carlson is the stepson of the heiress to the Swanson
oh yes, I knew
empire,
this. Yeah.
Which is like, let me get this straight. You were An heiress? Excuse me? This man has always been in the 1%, but he does this thing where he was talking about AOC. This isn't even funny. I'm just ranting. He was talking about AOC, and one of the people he was interviewing was like, yeah, well, they're up there and they're blah, 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 blah. And he chimes in and he's like, yeah, they can't really tell us average people, right? Us regular people. And I'm like, who are you trying to fool?
Yeah.
You little tiny lipped muppet. All of his interviews, this is literally all of his interviews. He sits there with this dumbfounded look like, I'm like, please shut your mouth.
And he's got his little eyebrows all scowl on his forehead. Like,
he's so confused. I'm like, how is that your resting face?
Yeah.
And then the person that he's interviewing either agrees with him, or if they have any opposing opinion, they're like, hi, I'm a professor in lesbian dance theory, and I think that if you drink coffee, that's racist, and I can say that even though I'm white. And then he's like,
Yeah.
that's my birthright. That's it. That's every single interview that he's ever conducted.
I feel like they always have too, like a token person of color come on to like bash other people of color. Like, I remember there was this one, like, it was like a black professor talking about, I forget what it was, but it was something about like how like there need to be more people of color in leadership positions or whatever. And then like they get this black guy to come on and like disagree with that. And then Tucker Carlson's like, even a black man doesn't think black people should have CEO positions. Or like he says this thing, like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, they definitely just pay these people to come on for these appearances. And they're like, free check, I'll say whatever you need me to say.
It's a whole industry.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't knock it. Get your coin, king.
Yeah, get that coin. That's like that one lady, there's like that conspiracy theory that one lady did all the interviews at like every school shooting or whatever. Have you seen this? Or it's like the same lady doing every news interview, like, it was really sad, I was on the scene, and like she's like crying because they're like, they don't want to ask like the actual victims, so they just hire this lady to like pretend that she was there.
I have seen a lot of crisis actor like conspiracy videos. Yeah. Of course there's the infamous Alex Jones one. Yeah. Where he zooms in. Okay. The reaches that they'll go, he's like, let's look at the Dark Knight film. When you see a map on Commissioner Gordon's table, and they're pointing to locations, and one of the towns says Sandy Hook, and it's like, let me get this straight. You think that this international cabal of people are dropping hints in Christopher Nolan movies to tip people off of upcoming shootings?
Yeah.
Why? The idea that, like, all of these people really just want to be that professor in, do you remember that book that was, like, really popular? It was a Dan Brown book.
I can't read.
It was about the Mona Lisa.
Da Vinci Code.
It was about the Vatican. Yes!
Wait,
yes.
Is it really?
That's the yes, it's the Da Vinci Code.
I've never even read that. I don't even know what it's about.
Okay, thank God.
Oh my God, I'm a freaking genius.
You are a genius. Oh my gosh, you're like Rain Man.
Wow.
You read my mind. He wasn't telepathic.
Crazy.
Anyway, okay. Everyone wants to be the freaking professor in that movie where he's like, I'm such a genius and I'm Tom Hanks and like, ugh. And they're trying to piece together all of these clues, and at the end of the day, it's like, if the Illuminati is this stupid and unorganized, that a buffoon like Alex Jones would be able to crack their code, I'm not that scared of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, who's a person you'd want to fight in T.G.I?
Yeah, so this was, like, hard for me, because I feel like I am not a good fighter, so I would want to pick someone I could, like, beat. So this is gonna be an unexpected answer, I feel like, but I'm gonna go John Oliver.
Interesting.
Now I'm a fan of John Oliver. I like John Oliver. So first of all, to fight him, it would be cool just to like be in the same space as him and get to like meet him first. So that would be fun. Mm-hmm. And I'm still bitter that his show won over Conan for the Emmy. So, like, I could throw, like, one punch that was, like, for real deserved,
Okay.
you know?
True.
And I think I could take his little rat face down, you know? Because he's, like, he's kind of small. He seems weak. Like, he's British. Like, come on. Those are all
That's true. That's
factors.
a few, yeah.
Yeah.
That's some damage points right there just from being British.
I could take him down for sure.
I feel like fighting John Oliver would be like fighting Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. Like, it would just be like a claymation man. You'd punch him and it would, like, his body would just, like, absorb the impact.
Yeah.
Come on, Gromit! We've got to go! That's my impersonation of the guy. I genuinely love the way their mouths move when they smile and they're like...
Yeah, it's just like a wide oval.
I adore it.
That's literally what my smile is. Because of these big chompers. Not to brag.
You know I'm insecure about my tiny, tiny teeth. That's not true. I'm not insecure about anything.
I'm very confident.
I'm very confident, and it's very fake, and I love it. I love how the persona I have online is so domineering. It's like, if only you knew how much of a little puss I was in real life. Yeah. Oh well. What's your type, Rachel?
That's really hard. Yeah, that's the first requirement.
Just constantly. No blood going to the brain.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I don't know that I have like a specific type or like I just, I fall in love with the personality, you know?
Sure. And what is that personality in the body of?
A big, huge, strong, hot man.
Okay. So do you mean like fat or do you mean muscular?
I feel like
a bear.
like a dad bod. Just kidding. I've never said that before in my life.
Well, I get it. To be fair, you were fully like Ace, like when we met.
Yeah. Sorry, so many people have said that to me before. They're like, do you know what asexual means? Like, you should really look into it. And I'm like, what? Sorry. Anyway.
Anywho, I can't say that. In practice, I was. Like, but I was a little thoughty in my brain.
Yeah.
Mentally, quite a thoughty. I'd say my type is... I've noticed it recently. Either emaciated or like almost pre-diabetic. I want them to look unwell.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, if anything, I'm not really into it. Physically, it's not... I definitely have a type, but for the most part, most people kind of fit it.
Yeah.
Because the types of guys I like are so all over the board. And even my friends say this. Like, my friends always say, like, wow, you, like, don't even have, like, a type. And I'm like, yes. Mackenzie, you're so right. I like everyone. I like short little Jews. I like big and black. I like reasonably sized and Latino. Weirdly enough, I think Latinos of all the people that I've had a thing for. Not that many Latinos. Several O's, but no O's. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, simps. I would say, listen, people mock them, but to be honest, they seem a lot more reliable.
Yeah, that is true.
Maybe the reason that I want simps is because I'm trying to build up an army of them. It's not even romantic. I just want to have, like, disposable henchmen to do my bidding.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, literal bidding. Like, on eBay, or...
Yeah.
Like, going to auctions.
Yeah. You go to those, like, lost luggage auctions at airports.
Well, I feel like it's a SpongeBob joke. Like, Plankton being like, finally... That's not how he talks. He's like, felicitations! Anyhow. Where he's, like, rubbing his, like, little...
Yeah.
Hands? I don't know what to call them.
Yeah, I'm not
his
sure.
His little hands together. And he's like, I need you to do my evil bidding. And then it's, like, cut to them at an auction, like,
yeah.
10,000? Hire me. No, actually, no, I don't want to write for SpongeBob. The show's freaking jumped the shark. It's not good anymore.
Now Patrick has his own show.
And I know it was against the wishes of the creators, and I was like,
really?
Dang, y'all waited till he died. Yeah.
That's really crazy then. I didn't realize.
That's so mean. I don't know if they waited till, but I was like...
They probably did, because I
didn't
feel like
want this.
He died like a year or two ago, right?
And they were like, that's convenient. Now he can't talk smack about us in interviews. Wow. Anywho.
Back to our men.
Jesus, this is such a... Yeah, I'm saying this is such a, like, scattered podcast.
I know, I feel like both of us just have, like, undiagnosed ADHD, and this is just, like, us going crazy with it.
We started off with a 13-minute tangent where I asked a question, we didn't answer it for 13 minutes, and then we went back to it.
This always happens.
Okay. Would you like a group of simps?
I think yes. Because you'd get so much power from that, because you could just manipulate them, you could use them. I would love to have enough power and manipulation skills to start my own cult. Like, I feel like that's how you know you've made it. That's, like, peak fame.
100%.
Like, you have so much influence over people. Like, and it's perfect. I don't have any real feelings or emotions, so I could just use these people. I would feel nothing except glory from all this power or this control I have. I could just tell people, like, you 3 guys, go get married. And they'd have to be like, all right, will do, boss. Like, I would convince them, they would be excited about it. Like, I would love to be the topic of, like, a mini series or, like, a podcast down the line where they just talk about everything I did. My own little Jonestown Kool-Aid story. I would love that. Put me in the history books, baby.
I think you'd do great if you made them all follow your dress code.
Everyone has to wear all Crocs Nike... and a t-shirt.
You can tell who the victims of your cult were because you look at them and their hairline is receded a few inches.
Jojo Siwa's like the VP of...
And all the interviews were like, after there's an HBO documentary made about it, they're all sitting like, doing their confessionals. And it's just like
everyone's foreheads are massive.
Yeah. And they have to be like, every day I walk around carrying the scars of what happened to me.
They show like, this used to be my headband. Like
yeah. And then some of them have like GoFundMes where they get like hair transplants.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Oh man.
The edit file. Anywho, on to our next section. What we would do as supreme overlords / dictators.
Yeah. So if we're thinking more like a place that already exists.
Yeah. I would say being a leader of a country is almost like being a leader of a cult in many ways.
Yeah.
So
true.
That was a stupid point. Just go. Go to what you were gonna say.
I was just gonna say it. Like, if I was like a leader, then I would like tax the freaking rich already. I would make everyone wear the AOC tax the rich dress. Everyone would have free healthcare. It would be a utopia.
Okay. I would also tax the rich except myself.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I know people are like, oh, you say that, but like once you are making millions of dollars, you're not going to want to give it up to people. And I'm like, who would care what I want? Like, at that point, it's one of those things where if I was making enough money, where I was getting an income tax bracket that's like, most of the income taxes that are like, you get charged, they take 70-something% of like, the amount of money you make over this threshold. Yeah. I was making like 10 million annually. And someone's like, you gotta give 50% of it, of what you make on top of that. So you still keep most of the 10 million anyway.
Yeah.
You gotta give 50%. If I had the nerve to be like, this is unacceptable. I can't believe I have to pay my share. And they're like, oh, it's not fair. We're paying too much. I'm like, I don't care. I want to take their hand and I just want to be like, shut up.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because if I was in that position, sure, on some level I'd be like, oh, I wanted to buy another person, but I can't do that anymore. But then at the end of the day, I would be like, just shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up, you whiny little baby. How is this a problem for you?
Yeah.
I love that. I hope someone picks this up. I hope we go on Tucker Carlson, where he's like,
yeah.
This is the youth. This is what your children are listening to. This is, and then it's just me being like, shut up, rich people. You don't understand.
Yeah. Just pay your taxes.
Yeah. And then he'll have me on the show and he'll be like, have you ever paid your taxes? And I'll be like, I just graduated, and like, no, so I haven't, but I will.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I want to be a troll character on Fox News, but they would 100% not think I was joking. And then I'd have like my life ruined.
You would have to do it like, remember that like Nathan For You episode where it was like he went on Kimmel? So like the Kimmel interview came out first, and then like he had a whole episode about making his story for the appearance. Like you would have to do something like that where like that interview comes out and then you just release this thing like about what you said at the interview.
So then everyone would be, and I'd have it filmed and edited, so like, told you, this was before the interview, I knew it.
Yeah. That
would work. What did you think of the Tax the Rich dress?
I feel like I had like mixed feelings about it, because like I was looking at a lot on like Twitter, and some people were like, oh, you know, way to make a statement to all these rich people at the Met Gala, like you show them, AOC. But then another person was like, isn't she in Congress? Isn't she literally the person who could like actually help us tax the rich? Like, so I think some people were like, this is literally the definition of like performative activism. Like you're attending the party with all the rich people saying, hey, tax the rich, like blah, 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 I'm making this statement. But then it's like, wait, don't you do that at your actual job every day? Aren't you the one taxing the rich?
It was like, it would have been one thing if the dress was cooler. Like if it was on wings, like a pair of wings that came out, like,
yeah.
Right?
Someone was take that Chick-fil-A font off that dress or something. I was like, oh my god, yes.
I'm just saying, the medium is the message. And boy, was this medium not the time or... I just think it's very, like, what they think was going to happen. Yeah. But these rich people would be like, you have a point.
Yeah, now that you've shown
I'll tell my accountant right now.
Yeah.
There's too many rich people that have way too many interests, and they have sunk their nails into this country to the point where I'm not very optimistic for the future, let's just say that.
Yeah. Wait, what do you think about, I think it was like Cara Delevingne or whatever had that Peg the Patriarchy like vest? Because I think that was worse than the Tax the Rich dress, I think.
That was funnier at least, because it was a phrase I didn't think I'd see.
Yeah.
Apparently the reason, a lot of actual activists were annoyed by that because apparently that was a trademarked like phrase that this activist had been using, and she was not white, so they were like, you stole from a queer woman of color, and she literally did. True. But the problem is that they didn't consult her or anything. And so she just appropriated this phrase, and everyone was like, this is literally just white feminism.
Yeah.
Also, did they really think they won't do something at the Met Gala? Everyone there already agrees with you little weirdos.
Yeah.
It's like at award shows when they're like, we need to stop climate change, and then they're all like, yes, I make
like,
sure that
you guys have the money to actually donate to do these things. It's like...
No, because secretly, they're all like under the table conservatives in terms when it comes to financial stuff.
Yes, they're literally...
It's the truth. When you actually look at like these California Republicans, they don't care about stuff like gay marriage or whatever, but they'll be like, oh, make sure that we don't actually have to pay our taxes properly. Yeah. And we have like constant cheap immigrant labor to exploit. That's what they mean.
Literally.
That's what it is, and I'm trying to become one of them.
Yeah, that's my goal.
I know LA is trash, but like, I wouldn't have to experience winter. Do you know how nice?
Yeah.
Oh, Boston winter. That's gonna be
rough.
So gross.
Is it like already chilly there?
It's starting to get chilly, but it's not like, unbearable.
That's good.
This is complete.
Yeah.
Why are we talking
We're
about
just
this?
talking
Okay,
about the weather.
unrelated. I was watching a bunch of dance movies. They are so dramatic. For no reason. Every protagonist, they're always wearing their, like, contemporary dance garb. So, like, the tights and, like, the skirt. And, you know, like, the leotard that's, like, tied on them. And their hair's, like, in a bun, but it's, like, a little messy.
Yeah.
And they're like, dancing is my life. When my mom imploded at age 5,
yeah.
I knew that that life was so short, and now my dad puts me under so much pressure to exceed academically, but also be a dancer, and I just want to tell him that all I want to do is dance. It's the only time I feel alive. And you're like, okay. Yeah. And they go confide that to their, like, one minority friend. Yeah. And that's pretty much, that's the, yeah.
They go to, like, a random park bench or something, like.
I mean, the thing is, in all of these movies, do you remember Step Up?
Which one is that?
Channing Tatum? He was like,
I
he
feel
did
like I've seen,
dance.
Like, yeah, I think I've
You've
seen
definitely
clips
seen
from
it.
this. Yeah.
You've definitely seen clips of it. Channing Tatum, churning tater tot. He's like, oh, I'm poor. I'm a foster kid. And Allison Stoner's like his little sister, because of course she's always in these like early 2000s dance things. And he does hip hop, and he has a friend who has a little brother who gets shot at the end of the movie, and it's really sad. But hey, set in Baltimore, which is why I remember it. Anywho, I'm getting off topic. He meets a girl who goes to like the Baltimore School of Arts where Jada Pinkett Smith and Tupac went. Oh. And she's like, I'm from a family that wants me to go to like some Ivy League, and I do contemporary dance. And then by the end of the movie, they're like, what if we mix the two together? What if we had contemporary dance and hip hop dance? Oh my god! Like that's the huge thing, and you're like, wow.
That's what we've learned from this movie.
And the dance sequences are not like, they're good. You can tell that people can actually dance, but it's the same exact like beats, right? They want to dance, but then their friends are like, why are you messing with these rich kids? Are you ashamed of where you come from? And he's like, no, I just want to experiment and see life. Also, there's this girl I'm trying to bang, and she dances like this. And then something tragic happens, like the little brother getting shot by some gangbangers accidentally. Oh. Cause it's Baltimore and they're black. we all know where this story's gonna go, according to Hollywood. Then he dies, and then his friend is really sad about it. But then his friend shows up to the dance recital. Yeah. And he sits there in the audience, and he has his pamphlet, and he's like, this is gonna suck. I'm sick of all these little Caucasians looking at me. And then he sees his friend dance. And it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing where, like, the parent sees the kid do something, and they're like, I get it. I get it now. I understand what you meant. What were we talking about?
Movie.
I think so absent-minded.
I know.
Today and most days.
Yeah. I feel like dance movies are all so cheesy, but they're not as bad as all the jump rope movies. Like, what was that one with, like, Corbin
all
Bleu
the jump rope.
Or whatever?
I think there's, like, 2.
Okay, but that's too many. Jump in, that's what I'm thinking of. Because at least, like, dancing is, like, a career. Like, you could, like, pursue dance and, like, do dance as a career. Like, that could be a hobby, a passion. It can be everything, right? But what are you going to do with a passion for jumping rope? Like, where does that take you besides, like, elementary school recess? After that point in your life, why on earth would you need to jump rope?
Because he's got a passion to jump in his heart. I'm just pressed because I can't double dutch. I could jump rope, and I was damn good at it. I couldn't double dutch to save my life. It was so embarrassing.
My mom used to be really good at jumping rope, not to brag.
Like, by herself? Like, individually?
I don't remember. I just remember because, we would always... Did you guys ever do Jump Rope for Heart? That, like, fundraiser thing?
No, I don't think so.
I think we did this back in, like, elementary school.
Okay.
where like in like 3rd through 5th grade there would be like 3 hours one day at the year where everyone would just like jump rope as long as you could to like raise money for like, I forget, some, you know, heart association or something.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom would always be like really good at doing all like the double dutch, and like she could do all the stuff.
Okay.
She said, okay, wait, is this never mind.
Say it.
No, I was
You can
gonna
ait
say,
out if
wait.
it's too
So I was gonna
inappropriate.
go, wait, is this like racist? Because she would always be like, yeah, I'm good at jumping rope because like I grew up in a trailer park. Because she was like the only like white girl like in her area, and like everyone else did like double dutch and like jumped rope.
To be fair, I mean, she got a point.
Yeah, I mean, she isn't lying, but.
Anywho, let's do listener questions next.
All right. Some listener questions. So from @PushPopBoy, they asked us on Instagram, "Hello, real person from Fresno here. My cue would be how to deal with hateful coworkers."
Okay. How lenient is whoever you're working for in terms of like what can get you fired?
Yeah.
That's the real question.
Yeah.
Because this is, I mean, there's a lot of answers to this. I would say just like if you're a quiet farter, just crop dust him a few times.
Yeah.
Like that would be I would be petty about it because you got to make sure it's like stuff that can't be traced back to you.
Yeah, or like their lunch in the fridge, you like take a tater tot. Like you take a little piece of it, or you open the container slightly so the bread gets stinky or something, you know?
Or just start dressing like them. Like break into their house, see what all their clothes are, buy an identical wardrobe, then spy on them in the morning, keep all the clothes in a trunk, and then you dress exactly how they dress every single morning.
That'd be really crazy.
Right? If you can, find a way to get to work first.
Yeah.
So then they'll be like, wait a minute, did I dress like them?
And then like,
so scared.
Once this keeps happening, you sit at their desk. Like in 2 weeks, you sit at their desk, and then you're like, oh, are you the new hire? And you get everyone like in on it with you.
Yeah. You Photoshop yourself into their photos and put them up.
Yeah, wait, it's like Asian cubicle. Jim from The Office. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where they got the 2 little Asian kids in the picture too.
Anywho, I would just say wage full-on psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Break them as a person. Yeah, that would be our advice. And it's Fresno. Yeah. Like, you're already basically in purgatory.
True.
So you deserve to let loose. You deserve to, like, let off steam.
Exactly.
Rachel, I feel like you're the hateful co-worker.
I definitely am. And hopefully none of my employers are listening to this. I hate everybody. No. I'm there to clock in and clock out, baby. No. I actually really like my job where I work. There's a lot of fun people there. I just hope that they like me back, because I've noticed that, because they'll be like, oh, Rachel, like, can you do this job? Like, you're so good at making spreadsheets. Can you make the spreadsheet for this? And I'm like, are you just trying to get me to do more work for like the same money? I know.
Playing you like a fiddle.
Because they literally will like be like, oh my god, you're the only one that can get the printer working. Like, if anyone has issues, we'll send them to you. And I was like, wait, like, I don't think this is how it works.
No, they're definitely scamming you.
Yeah.
What do you mean spreadsheets? And you're like, I've never made a spreadsheet ever with you guys. What do you mean? And they're like, you're so good at it though.
Yeah, literally.
Just do extra work. Anywho, we got our next question. At D with, his name's Dennis. How can I stop the nightmares? Why do you want them to stop, Dennis? What are you running from? What is in your subconscious that is manifesting itself as these dreams that you're terrified of confronting? Maybe consider that.
Yeah, Dennis. Just kidding.
This is a call-out post. This is actually a nightmare. When you hear this,
this is
it's not real. We are in your brain. Wouldn't it be so trippy if you like were in a coma, but you thought you were awake, and then you woke up from that coma, and then you woke up from that coma, and you're like, wait, am I still... That would be so terrifying.
Yeah, I had a dream where I like woke up from the dream, and I like was like, and like woke up and it was like nighttime. And then I woke up for real and it was like daytime. And it was like the scariest thing ever. Like I was terrified like the whole day.
Dang. Anyway, shout out to everyone who's in a coma right now.
Yeah, I know they're listening right now.
What if we can? What if we're on a frequency that like only people in comas can hear us? And they're like, can y'all shut up?
Yeah, suddenly like everyone wakes up from their coma so they can stop hearing us. We're like a medical, like phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like...
And then we set up our podcast stations in like in front of people that have like passed out or are in comas, and they're like,
yeah, you guys people don't call an ambulance anymore, they call us. And we just start talking.
We pick a topic out of a bowl.
Yeah.
And it's like cardigan sweaters, and we're like, let me play devil's advocate here. And then we start talking about stuff.
Yeah.
On to our next question. At S4DF4GAF. If that was code for something, if that was slang, I don't know what it is. How do y'all feel about gas station pickles? I mean, outside of water, that gas station pickle juice is the only liquid that I allow into my sacred body.
True.
So I'd give it a thumbs up. Yeah,
this one of my friends went to, I think it was in Baltimore, they had a pickle like festival. So like they had like pickle snow cones, it was like pickle lemonade, like all these different pickle treats, and there were like people in pickle costumes, like it was really crazy. I'm a big fan of pickles though. I like it when they're like sliced up in like quarters, because like eating like a whole big pickle, like holding a whole big pickle in my hand is sometimes a little intimidating, but when they chop it up for me, I like that.
I like it when it's, like when they include it on like chicken dishes.
Yeah.
I like it when they're sliced.
Yeah.
Like not too thin, but there's like that little bit of crunch.
Yeah. A nice bread and butter chip.
I used to think they were nasty, but then I was like, that's anti-Semitic. How dare you? Yeah. How dare you not like pickle?
Yeah, kosher dill pickle?
Now I want to get one of those hot pickles. You know those like... The ones that come individually. Yeah. Oh, I want to crunch into that bad boy.
Because the 7-Eleven that we would get taquitos at, it shut down because they're building apartments there. So they like demolished it. And I was like, where am I supposed to get my gas station treats now?
All right. Well, we're done with all of the questions.
All right.
And that's all we got to say on that. Tune in whenever we upload another video.
See ya. This has been The Boredroom with Sara and Rachel.
The Boredroom is edited by Rachel Nicewander.
Stephen Duranske is our graphic designer, and our theme music is by Doug Maxwell and Media Right Productions.
Support the podcast by donating on Patreon or Anchor. Links in the description.
Got a question? Email us at boredroombusiness@gmail.com.
Or DM us on Instagram @BoredroomPodcast.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to The Boredroom on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Like, comment, rate, and review. Tell us you love us. Tell us you hate us. Solicit us. We'll take anything.